Izuku feels all the air rushing past him. Looking at the ground, he sees the ground getting closer and closer. But it feels like everything is slowing down. And thinking about All Might rejecting him, Bakugo bullying him for so many years. It's until finally, splat! Izuku wakes up and sees that he's on the ground and he's naked for some reason, and sees his clothes and dust, but and some blood. He doesn't understand what happened, but then all of a sudden he feels all his memories, his feeling, every pain, every joy, everything, all at once hitting him. And welcome to this random world what if. Welcome here to my channel, and I'm in World, and this is what if Deku had a cloning quirk. Izuku just is thinking, and he doesn't know what to think. He felt himself die. He die and go, die and wait. I survive. Wait, that's true. Does that mean? Wait, I have a quirk! I do have a quirk! Yes! Yay! But how do I activate it? It happened when I died. I disintegrate. My body disintegrated into dust. And this body was made. Let me think about this. Izuku just sits there thinking. And he thinks, okay, my quirk probably clones myself and transfers my consciousness. That sort of makes sense, because my quirk is just so I can clone myself and transfer the mind of the main body. But then, why did the main body disintegrate? Is it because it transferred, or is it because I died? Izuku decides to just grab his clothes, put them on, and head home. And Izuku just thinks as he's walking home. Not taking notes about the heroes or villains or any of the quirks while going home. He's just thinking about everything. If All Might thought he couldn't do anything with a quirk, and Izuku knows that he doesn't know how to use his quirk, but how could he do anything without it to become a hero? And Izuku experiments with ways of how to activate his quirk. And after a lot of thinking and knowing how things work, he decides to grab a fork and just sort of attack himself to see if he could replicate himself that way. Izuku hits himself and Izuku starts to bleed, and he takes the fork out and the bleeding stops and it turns to dust. And just leaves the plasma there and iron. And Izuku sees there's no more bleeding anymore. Just it's still there. Izuku thinks, so I'm able to replicate myself then? Wait, that's even better. I could use this as like a regeneration quirk. But how far can it go? Izuku just thinks about it. And then decides, no, I have to find everything my quirk can do. And decides to do it again with trying to clone himself. Trying. Because he can't do anything because he can still get hurt. He needs to be powerful enough. He needs to do the same. He needs to find out how to clone himself. And after a bit, he stops bleeding and knocks out. And Izuku wakes up again and getting everything again. And starts to think about everything again. If people thinking about all the villains he's seen. He's seen a couple yelling out for help a couple of times, asking them to say if someone in need. Saying they were just doing it to save a sibling, friend, family member. And Izuku questions, why is society like this? And Izuku looks in front of him and sees that there is a clone as well. A second him. They're both naked and are questioning. And the other one says, "It worked! It worked! Finally!" Izuku, the main body, Izuku says, "Which of us is the main body, though?" The other one just says, great question. Clone. Izuku says, I don't want to fight. I think we're both clones because we both have the memories since they transferred over, and so technically we're both the main body, but neither of us. I'm confused now. Well, and Izuku just says, and the other Izuku says, okay, that makes sense, and they decide to just grab more clothes out of the closet, and they just talk to each other. Huh. The main body, Izuku, says, let's test something. If we both, if we share a shared mind, like a bee, like a hive mind, or a ant colony, where we have to communicate physically. And they say the first word that comes to your mind. Main body, Zuko says ant. The other one says diamond. And they say, okay. So they go through tests. It's figuring out they share the same thought process and mindset, but don't share things that, but are able to think for themselves as sentient beings and are able to do things at random chance. They try and figure out what else can they do. And one of them just sits down on the floor and, lands on the fork, dying. And Izuku, the main body Izuku, also gets knocked out. And they see each other there. They are questioning what is going on. Wait, what? I'm taking this from Soema Spider, so what? He can duplicate his mind. And Izuku sees this and both of the Izuku say, wait, so when one of us dies, the mind gets transferred over to the main body, and they both get hit with the point of views of both of each other. And they say, okay, hey, that our assumption is correct. And they decide to go with, if they are able to clone themselves. Whenever one of them dies, it gets transferred over to the main body, and the memories gets transferred over to the main body. They're able to replicate cells, regenerate, disintegrate cells once they exit the body. And so far and after a few tests, they start to notice they feel every cell in their body. And let's just continue from here after I don't know. Izuku decides to clone himself again and see if they can transfer it over. Izuku says, okay, we are gonna, what should we do? Clone. The other Izuku says, I don't know. I feel like that this will be strange calling me a clone since I am my own person, I guess. Yes, and Izuku decides to do it. To say, hey, why not? Why don't we just go by Why don't we go by main and then go by numbers? And if we are separated, we just go by Izuku or Midoriya. The clone says, all right. So we need to train. We need to train so that we can get into UA. The main body Izuku says, wait. Maybe we don't go to UA. And the clone says, what? But that's been our dream since childhood. And Izuku's main body says, what about if we go? What about if one of us goes as a vigilante at night? Goes out normally in the daytime as a normal citizen, and the other goes to UA. We don't know if the muscle gets transferred to the clone. Our cloning ability allows us to clone ourselves perfectly and clone ourselves perfectly. So cloning our muscles would be interesting, but also cloning. But also, what if we each clone gets their own thing? And the clone says, no, what? We're gonna be a hero, right? Because we got a quirk. There's no reason we can't be a hero. Main body Izuku says, how about you have our memories, our thought process is the same, mindset is the same, and so why do you act differently in this sense? Because I'm my own sentient being. And the clone grabs a fork, Izuku grabs the pen, and they stab each other. And both see the thought process and thinks. And the main body, Izuku thinks, and they're all there. they all get all memories hit like a truck to them. And Izuku is, and the three of them there are confused. Then are thinking. Main body Izuku says, "Oh, okay. What about if each of us just go? How about if we clone ourselves 2 times? One of us is a vigilante, one of us is a hero, and another one is to keep Mom unaware of this and go to another high school." Clone number 1 says, but how would that work? Like, we have no idea of how to use our quirk. We have no idea of how to do any of this. So, and how should we train? So we can actually prepare. Clone number 2 says, yeah. Okay, so you finally agree with the hero. Okay, I see your thought process, and I am questioning on how we're gonna enroll with 2 different schools, as well as be a vigilante. Main body, he says, is okay. We are gonna the main body is gonna. I'm gonna be the vigilante. The other at night, and only at night. I'm gonna sleep through the day. And the hero one is gonna do normal stuff and gonna work on training the quirk and other thing. If new info is found, we kill ourselves. The pain of that will suck, but how else will we gain info about our quirk and training? And in any case, how are we gonna? And we're also good. And how else are we gonna get the muscle mass for this? As well, any ideas? Clone 1 says, so the next clone is gonna be, is gonna find out how to clone themselves, clone themselves because they have the most muscle mass at that point, and get and tell everyone to kill themselves after school. That clone becomes the new main body, and every clone main body, he gets transferred over to that one, and the muscle memory, and info and fighting ability shall all be accessed through that point. Clone 2 says, I am happy that we can be a hero. And Izuku said, it's great. Great. We have an idea of how to do this, and now we just gotta execute this. This is the end of the thing, so goodbye, like, and subscribe. Goodbye!